Hello, my reading friends, and welcome back to the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation channel. My name is Alissa. I am the community manager, and today I thought we would spend a little bit of time hanging out and talking about 10 Regency-inspired books with a twist that you might want to pick up for Jane Austen July or at any time you are feeling in the mood for a Regency romance. It is about 1,000 degrees here today, so I am trying to think nice and cool and summery vibes, and I thought what better time to talk with you about some of my favorite Regency romance books. So I have 3 piles sitting here in front of me. The first pile is going to be some books that are Austen-inspired stories. The second pile is kind of Regency with a twist. I think some unique maybe characters or settings that you don't often see in a Regency romance. And then the last 2 are just 2 of my favorite Regency books that I think have a uniqueness about them that you would enjoy as well. So without further ado, shall we get started? So the first one I have is the Longbourn letters. Now, when I saw the premise for this book is letters between Mr. Collins and Mr. Bennet, I thought, how in the world is this book going to be entertaining? But it is laugh out loud funny. I haven't read this in a little while, so I feel like I'm almost due for a reread, but do yourself a favor. It is a great read. It's easy to get through, and it is literally just a epistolary little book of letters from Mr. Collins to Mr. Bennet, and it will make your day. The next book that I have in the pile, Alice McVeigh, she has written some amazing books from, I think, unique perspectives. So she has Susan, she has Darcy, she has Harriet, and don't remember if she has any others out right now, but those are the ones that I know that I have on my shelf. And Harriet is just unique in its perspective, kind of taking Emma and turning it around a bit, and giving Harriet her moment to shine. So I highly recommend that. All right, another one that I have on my list, and it has been a while since I read this. The cover has definitely changed. This was a early copy, but this is my favorite retelling of Mary Bennet's story. I absolutely adored this book. Again, I could probably use for a reread on this one, but it is just, it's one of those books that you want to savor. You fall in love with it. I tell people to read this all the time. I adore this book. All right, and the last is one that I personally did not love that much. I need to kind of reread it again and see if my perspective has changed, but I feel like it's too popular not to mention here, and that is Longbourn. This is a kind of upstairs, downstairs sort of take on the Bennet family, and we get to see what life would sort of be like from those that would be taking care of them and working in the household. Like I said, it's not my favorite, but I think it kind of did sort of launch Jane Austen fan fiction into the mainstream, and it's definitely worth a read. All right, that wraps up Austen-inspired books, and now let's dig into some books that are sort of Regency with a twist. So the first one up, I have the Earl's Lady Geologist. Alissa Baxter is just amazing at giving you sort of the Jane Austen vibes in the books that she writes. They're perfect length, I think, for just an enjoyable Regency romance. And what I really love is what she puts into her characters. So Cassandra is a lady fossil collector. No spoilers, but there might be some literary characters that pop up, and you'll see in the story. And it's just a uniqueness to the heroines that she writes, and I really, really enjoy that. The next book is Dangerous Alliance by Jennieke Cohen. She also has another one that is a My Fair Lady retelling, which is a lot of fun. Dangerous Alliance, she kind of describes her heroine in the story as like a Jane Austen superfan before there was fandoms, which I think is really fun. This is a YA book. It definitely has Jane Austen vibes throughout it, with the main character really loving to read Pride and Prejudice, and it's just a really fun story that I would highly recommend. Right, the next one is really unique. I think a lot of Regency romance readers would have heard, or if you've seen the movie, of Mr. Malcolm's List is a lot of people's introduction to Suzanne Allain's writing, but I fell in love with her writing. I loved the movie. I went on to, she has Miss Lattimore's Letters, loved that, and I stumbled across in a search that she had a few books out there that are older than those. So there's two, at least I know they have on my shelf, but this one, the Celebrated Pedestrian, is just so unique. In my opinion, it is a must-read for Regency lovers. And it says, if love is a game she refuses to play, Faith Wentworth's father is a renowned sportsman and national celebrity. So her father is a professional walker. This was really a thing back then. There's a specific name for it that she talks about in the book. But just such a great book, such a unique setting. Highly recommend this one. All right, and then the next one is Love and Lavendar by Josi Kilpatrick. This one I think is really unique because our hero in the story has what would have been known as autism, but obviously not known at the time. And Hazel, the heroine, has a clubbed foot. So they both have some uniqueness about them, and it really shapes their characters. And I just absolutely adore this love story. This might be an older cover again. This was an advanced copy, but this is a proper romance series. It is just heartfelt, so good. It will make you fall in love with love. All right, and the final two books that I have been around for a while. They are nothing new, but I just think that they are so unique that they need a shout out. This is not a pretty cover. I had the ebook and I saw this in hardcover, and I just couldn't resist grabbing it, and it doesn't have the beautiful slipcover I'm sure that it had at one time, but it is A Matter of Class by Mary Balogh. I can't really say too much about this book because it's so easy to give spoilers, but if you are looking to read a Regency romance with a twist that will leave you thinking about it for years to come, grab A Matter of Class. The closest thing I could kind of describe it to is sort of a Romeo and Juliet kind of vibes to it. And last but certainly not least is Edenbrooke. This book has over 5,000 reviews with good reason. It is just a gorgeous story. It has a summer setting, and if you are looking for a proper Regency romance that gives you the Jane Austen vibes that you're looking for, this would be, I think, a great pick for you to read. So I hope that inspires you to explore some Regency romances. Are there any that you would add to the list that have a unique twist to them? Have you read any of these that I shared? Let us all know in the comments as well. It's fun to see what other people have been reading. And there's plenty out there, I'm sure, that I have missed that I could add to the list. So I would love to hear your recommendations as well. Don't forget to check out the community and join us for Jane Austen July and all that is going on over there. We would love to have you join in the fun, and I will see you in the next video.